It started out as a class project, but Will Inrig's animated short is getting him more than a good grade. His film, The Depose of Bolskivoi Hovhannes, will be shown on the same screen as some of the best animation in the world. The Canterbury High School students' film will be part of the Ottawa International Animation Festival in September. The list of films was announced yesterday, and 17-year-old Will Inrig is here to tell us all about it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
And welcome back, Will. It's nice to see you.
Well, it's an honor to be back again. It's Bolskivoi Hovhannes. It's a ridiculous title, but very, very hard to say, but it's an old Armenian name.
How did you find out your film had been selected for the festival?
I found out because I received a very, very, very cryptic email, and it just said, oops, we forgot to tell you about the accreditation form you're supposed to fill out, and also the $75 artist fee. And I said, maybe I'm revealing how cheap I am or something. But I said, an artist fee? What on earth am I? And I didn't even get accepted to this festival. And so I marched into the office, and I was very, very bold, and I'm sure I was very, very rude. And I went up to, maybe it's the managing director, and I said, what is it about this fee? And I don't know anything about it. And how could you ask me to pay this? And she said, no, it's all a mistake. She says, we're going to pay you this. And she says, your film has been put into the festival. And I'm very, very sorry. Thank you very much. And so anyways, that was nice. That's
a great story. So you're $75 richer now.
Yeah, which is a lot for someone who's trying to self-employ off filmmaking. So
you made this film. You made this film for a school project.
Yes.
Really, for a class assignment. What made you decide to enter it into a festival?
Well, I tell you, it wasn't me who came up with the idea. I worked with a cameraman, of course, and his father was very, very proud of his son's product and my product. And he said, boys, you have to enter this thing into the festival. And I said, no, it's just a school thing. And my cameraman said, no, it's just a little project. But he encouraged us. He said, no, you have to put this in. And I put it in. And of course, yeah, I have been accepted now, so it's an honor.
This was really a labor of love for you, wasn't it?
It was a labor of love. It was very, very laborious.
How long did it take?
It took about, I'm going to say 4 months of actual shooting, but it took much, much longer. It's been a year's work now, and so I'm very pleased to see it done.
What's the film about? Tell us about it.
The film is about an Armenian farmer. It's a beautiful Anatolian pastoral tale, and one day he's out walking around his farm, and in the center of his heath he finds this fantastic hole. And he says this is very, very strange, and he suspects his sheep, of course, that they're up to something. Somehow they're plotting against it with this big hole in the center of his field. And he soon finds out that, yes, in fact, he's right. They're very, very, very menacing sheep. So that's the story.
What inspired it? Where did you get the story from?
I don't know. I like to think that maybe it comes from dreams or something like that. But also the logistics are quite simple. It's one person. It's a very, very simple little person himself, and then the sheep are quite simple. So I think that's where it comes from. Nothing more than that. Somewhere in my mind.
And the name as well. Bolskivoi Hovhannes.
Hovhannes.
I need to pronounce it.
You see, you could be an Armenian.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, of course, the name comes. It's an Armenian name. Somehow I found it. Maybe he was a prime minister or something. At a time, or maybe a good Armenian warlord or something.
I had a chance to watch the film this afternoon. Beautiful, beautiful film, really well done. One thing that really struck me, and also struck our director here, Sarah McFadden, who had a chance to see it, was the music.
Yes.
It was almost picture perfect, and it took a lot of coordination, it seemed, to match the music with the movement. How did you accomplish that?
I did, yeah, I found the music. It's a very, very old piece of music. It's called Vals Hommage, and it's a very, very famous Russian folk song now. It's called, I can't say it, but Ochichonye. And so what I did is I worked with the picture and worked with the music together, and edited the music and edited the picture, and somehow they've all come together. Yeah, it wasn't so easy, but it's nice now, I think.
And talk about the technique, the particular animation technique that you used.
It's stop motion animation, which people don't do anymore now. In a world of computer graphics. So you of course what you do is you have little armatures, little puppets, and you move them a little bit and take a picture, then move them a little bit more and take a picture. And when you speed it up, it appears that they're moving by themselves. So this is how the process is done, but it's not so easy.
And I'm wondering, and you've spent so much time with this, I'm wondering, because you didn't use the computer graphics, there's an intimacy about the
Yeah, I
film,
think
and you
so.
feel much closer to the characters in it.
Well, it's rustic not only in its subject matter, but it's rustic in its method and its approach. So maybe there's something good there.
Why stop motion? Why? I know that it's not something that's used very often, and you're a documentarian. So why did you make the shift?
Because it's something quite physical. You're working physically. You're working with your hands. You're always hauling sand. I can't tell you how much sand we stole from the playground across the street, and somehow I'd get the biggest guys in the classroom, and we'd all haul sand. Or you're always moving. You're building things, moving armatures. You're shifting around lights, all that stuff. When you do computer animation, it's very, very cerebral. It's very academic. The most movement that you do is the click of a mouse. So it's a very, very different process, and I'm attracted to stop motion animation much more than I am to computer animation.
Why?
Well, it is. It's that physicalness. Yeah. It's that corporeality. There's something, I don't know if it's athletic, but it's something definitely physical.
Is that typical? Like, would you say that most of your friends also have more of an affinity for stop motion as opposed to computer generated animation?
I would say a lot of people certainly in my group, and I think more people in my generation are seeing that there is some sort of benefits to stop motion animation. So there is a trend maybe, but yeah, amongst my friends I would say so as well.
Are you also attracted to analog technology?
Yes, yeah, I know.
not digital. How challenging is it to make animation?
Well, I think what you need is perseverance.
For the first time.
Yeah, you need perseverance, and you need drive, and you need initiative, and these are the things that will pull you through, right? You need nothing more than that.
What is the most difficult thing? Just the time that's involved? Because I was even just looking at the way in which the sheep moved.
Yeah,
and I was
like
thinking,
ladybugs.
The ladybugs. And I'm thinking that must have taken so much time to do.
Well, yes, it does take time, but no, I think you just have to stick with it. You say, this is the project I'm going to make, and I'm going to follow through. So that's what's important.
We were chatting earlier, and just before the interview, and you were saying this is the first stop motion animation and the last.
And the last.
I'm going
my
to
God,
do.
I'll
Why?
never do this again.
Why?
Because you have to understand, to be an animator, you have to understand motion at 1/24th of a second. You have to understand how things move on that level. And I can do documentaries. I know when someone's screaming at me or yelling at me or throwing something or kicking a soccer ball or whatever, that is motion I understand. That's movement I understand. But the skills of an animator are quite different, and I don't have those skills.
Well, I think you do. I think many people see the thing will beg to differ. Has it changed the way in which you look at the way people move?
Yes, it has. It has, because now I understand that to put together every movement, when you shoot a movement with a motion camera, of course now I'm thinking more in frames than I was before, more in stills. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know.
You've graduated now from Canterbury High School. What's in your future beyond supper tonight? But I'm saying,
yes, well, supper's important. I'm a 17-year-old boy. What I'm doing a feature-length documentary about the tragic beauty of autistics. My younger brother's severely autistic, so it's entitled "The Fantastic Ballet of the Mind and Its Master." And since I was a little kid, I wonder when I don't know how much you know about autism, but my brother, something he does is he zones out, he disappears into the autistic self. And when he does this, I wonder, well, where is it that he goes? What is it that he sees? And somehow he goes into an inner world, an inner landscape, I think, something, it's conjured to, maybe to cater to his repetitions and his obsessions and his stereotypes. It assuages his disorder. So this is what I'm making a film about, but we'll see. It will be a challenge.
It certainly will. I wanted to ask you one other thing. You are 17 years old.
Yes.
You have a huge future, many years. No, what do you imagine for your own career? What do you when you see yourself 10, 15 years from now? What would make you happy? In terms of what you were doing, what would you like to do?
I tell you, at 17, what I'm interested in doing is traveling and meeting people. That's all. It's simple. And I'd be an atrocious diplomat. I'd be so bad, and I'd be a very bad journalist. I have a lot of respect for what people like yourself do, but I couldn't do it. So maybe a filmmaker would be all right.
Mm-hmm. If people want to see this film, what should they do?
Well, you can go to YouTube and you type in the Depose of Bolskivoi, Bolskivoi Hovhannes, or you can see this in a theater. It's being shown at the Bytown Cinema. So go on September 20th at 9 o'clock, and you come see this and come up and shake my hand, please, and I'll be delighted if you come.
I want to try and persuade you to make more stop motion animation.
Well,
it's a remarkable film.
Well,
Congratulations.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will Inrig is a student at Canterbury High School. His film, The Depose of Bolskivoi Hovhannes, will be screened at the Ottawa International Animation Festival in September.